is Monday, May 8th, and I apologize for not getting a vlog up last weekend, or this past week. I shot one. I shot a vlog. I created it with iMovie, uploaded it to YouTube, and for some crazy reason, I didn't realize, but YouTube uploaded the same video that I had posted the week before for my teacher vlog. And luckily, one of my followers, was like, sent me a message going, hey, this is the same video. So I went to look at it, and sure enough, it was the same video. It was actually the raw footage. It wasn't even the final product. So then I went back to iMovie to figure out what was wrong and tried to create the video again, but for some reason iMovie won't read those video clips now. Somehow the footage became compromised, or it won't read the data. So an entire week's worth of vlogging is lost. So I apologize for that, technical difficulties, but it is a new week, and hopefully, God willing, this footage will work and it will all be good. Right now I am just making lunches for my boys for school today. It is going to be a busy week this week because we have M-Step testing Tuesday. Tuesday we take the ELA, and then we have M-Step testing on Thursday. Thursday is the science, and thank goodness once those are done, M-Step testing is done in my classroom because school is winding down really fast. In fact, it's winding down faster than I'm ready for it to wind down, because I didn't want to start DRA2 testing during M-Step. But DRA2 testing in 4th grade takes quite a while because the children are higher levels, they're reading harder text, you have to grade all those written responses, and then if the child aces it, you have to turn around and give them another DRA2 test and repeat the whole process all over. So I really need M-Step to wrap up so I can begin my DRA2 test. And then I know also the bilingual teacher needs to start her WIDA testing. Our principal needs to get in the last round of NWEA testing. I hate to say it, but by the time the first week of May comes, the rest of the year, it's like nothing but testing. It's overwhelming. It's just too many tests. But it's all mandated by the state or the feds or somebody. So there's nothing you can do about it. And in the meantime, though, sometimes I feel like these tests aren't fair because you're testing my 4th graders on 4th grade materials. And yet, when you give them the test in the first week of May, there's still 6 more weeks of school. There's things we haven't even covered yet. We just, not that, the kids can't do it, we haven't got to it. It's really a bummer. But having said that, I'm going to stop talking right now because I'm going to finish these lunches, get ready for school, and I will see you guys in class. In class, my morning got off to a bit of a rocky start. I grabbed all my stuff, got in the car, drove away from the house, got about 3 minutes away from the house when I realized I forgot my water bottle. And remember, my water bottle is also, got my caffeinated Crystal Light in there. I need caffeine, people. It is not even an option. So I literally had to turn around, go back home, grab my water bottle that was sitting on the kitchen counter, get back in my car, drive away from the house. I get about 3 minutes away from the house and I realize, did I grab my cell phone this morning? And I put my hand in my purse to feel in the little pocket where my phone usually is. My phone wasn't there. I turn around, go back to the house, run in the house. My phone's not on the charge cord. So then I go back and look at my purse. My phone was in the purse the entire time. It was just not in the pocket, had fallen down on the side. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy. So finally got in the car, drove to work, made it to work. I am here, and I'm only about 5 minutes late because, well, I left really early because I wanted to get here super early. Well, I'm here on time. So right now I need to put all the furniture down and I need to set up my table for the day, unpack my stuff, and get started. Today for reading, excuse me, today for reading, we're actually going to skip the reading part of reading today. In the footage that I lost from last week, I had talked about how we have the ELA M-Step tomorrow, and for the most part, my students are good readers. They comprehend fairly well. They can retell fairly well. So I'm not worried about those parts of the M-Step test. I'm sincerely not that worried about that. Even my children where English is a second language, they've made huge gains. Are they going to pass the test? Realistically, probably not. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. But am I proud of the gains that they've made this year? Absolutely. I mean, they have progressed so far. And that's one of the big bummers about state testing. State testing, it's one or two things. You did well or you didn't. It doesn't take into account that maybe a student came to me at the beginning of fourth grade at a DRA 12, and now they're going to be leaving me at a DRA 30 or 34. I mean, that is a huge gain. That's like 2 years worth of reading growth. But technically, it's still not on grade level. So the M-Step doesn't care about any of that. That's the infuriating part of M-Step. At least NWEA, it shows growth over time. And you do get, brownie points for showing that accomplishment for your students. But so today, instead of doing their independent reading or read to self, we are focusing on mechanics because this is an area of real weakness for my children. Last week we did a lot of work with homonyms, your, there, Bob and I, not me and Bob. So we did a lot of work on that. And we also did work on quotation marks because my students really struggle with putting the quotation marks in the correct places. In fact, here was one of the activities we did, and I actually was going to grade this one, but as I was going through it, I realized that I don't want to grade this one. We actually need to pass this back out to the students today and erase all the marks they have on it and take it from scratch. They improved, but they still don't have it. They still don't have all the rules for quotation marks. Also today, I'm going to focus in on commas for separating multiple items in a list, and then commas and introductory clauses, and that's a 2-page activity. I would never usually sit here and teach all these mechanics like I was last week and this week, but I want them to do well on the test. And a big part of the test is, here's a paragraph. The highlighted sentence is incorrect. Here's your 4 answer choices. Which one of these is the correct way to write that sentence? Oh, that is hard for my students because they don't have that good mechanics. They don't have the commas and the quotation marks and all of that stuff. So we're working on it. We really are working on it. But again, you have to keep in mind, a lot of my children, English is a second language. Right now, if you tried to give me a test in French, odds are I would bomb it. I had 2 years of Spanish in high school. I know a few words in Spanish. I'm still not ready to pass a Spanish M-Step version. I'm just not. So we're going to review these things, and honestly, tomorrow when we take the test, it is what it is. They're going to do what they're going to do, and I can honestly say I did my best, and I've worked hard, and they've worked hard. Whether the results show all that work or not, there's not a lot I can do about that, but we have busted butt in this room this year. Also today we will be working on measuring angles, and I'm looking forward to science today because we are working with magnets. I love magnets and magnetism. I love this. So, measuring magnetic strength. I love science. Unfortunately, science is one of those subjects that I don't have enough time to teach it as often as I would love to. Realistically, I only teach one, science or social studies a day. And I try to do science, social studies, but then a lot of times they forget it, so I'll usually do like 3 days of science, 3 days of social studies, 3 days of science, 3 days of social studies. So I'm still only getting like half a year to teach either one of those subjects, but there's just not enough time in the day. So I'm going to stop right now though, because I need to go see my principal about something, and I'll check back in later. It is lunchtime, and we had a perfect morning. Everything went exactly the way it was supposed to. We managed to cover our mechanics of writing and things that I wanted to get covered this morning to prepare for the test tomorrow. And the children seem to do really well with that. Excuse me as I'm pulling all my food together. My Diet Pepsi. Actually went to the gas station and bought a Diet Pepsi because I was out of Diet Pepsi at my house today. One of these. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Come on in. Sorry. The day's over. The children are currently outside. Sorry I did not get a chance to vlog more earlier. I tried to vlog at lunchtime. Usually my coworkers take a little time to get into the room. Well, they got here really fast today, so that's why I started talking and like, oh, never mind. And then my prep today is in the classroom. We have art on a cart. So I can't really vlog while the art teacher is in the classroom today, although we did the most awesome science experiment today. It was called, where is it at? The Holding Power of Magnets. It was really fun. First thing we did was we had to measure the strength of 2 individual magnets. So we used magnet 1 to pick up paper clips. We put it in the balance, and then we used gram stackers to measure how much weight the first magnet by itself picked up. Then we used magnet number 2 to repeat the process. We picked up as many paper clips as we could with magnet number 2 and weighed how much grams that was. And then we added up magnet 1 and magnet 2, and like from this one, they had 60 paper clips between the 2 magnets, and together they picked up 27 grams worth of weight. Then we could put the 2 magnets together to make a solid mass of magnet, and repeated the process with just a block of 2 magnets, and the children learned that 2 magnets together was significantly stronger than having 2 independent magnets. The second time around, the 2 magnets together picked up 74 paper clips and 33 grams of mass. So, and then after that, we did a bar graph where we had to graph the number of paper clips, and the children had to decide what counting the graph was going to be. Were we going to count by 1s, count by 2s, count by 5s? And because we had such large numbers of paper clips, the children decided that we should count this graph by 5s, so this way we would fit it all on the graph and have the graph be reasonable. Then there was a second bar graph, which mine's not done, and I was working with the kids, where we had to graph the grams. And once again, we had to look at our data and determine, based on this data, should we count by 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s. And this time the children decided to count by 2s because there was enough lines and we could get all the data in there. And that's a big one with testing. You know, they're given a set of data, and then they have to create the chart and the bar graph and determine for themselves what is the best process to count by on a bar graph. So this was a great science activity as well as a really great math activity. Now tomorrow we will do part 2 if we have time, because we have M-STEP, ELA in the morning. I think the ELA test though might be done by lunchtime, I'm hoping. So this way that would free up the afternoon to do part 2 of this activity. If it doesn't happen tomorrow afternoon, then it'll happen Wednesday. But so part 2, we are going to repeat the process, but with a 3rd magnet. So this time we're going to measure 2 independent magnets, and then a 3rd independent magnet, and then we will do a block of 3 magnets to see the magnetic strength for that. And yes, so I'm kind of excited to do part two. And they were really enjoying it. It was a busy time, though, I will admit, because we had paper clips everywhere. We had pan balances on every table. We had circle magnets on every table. Luckily, they worked very well in groups. There was only a little bit of squabbling at 2 of the tables. Most of the tables worked really well as groups, and it was a great activity. It was really hands-on, and everything went perfect. Plus, they got the gist that, 2 magnets together is stronger than independent magnets. So that all worked out great, and I was really happy about it. Also, I want one last thing before I wrap up for today. I wanted to show you a book I bought at Target yesterday called Last Day Blues. This is not a new book. I think it's been out for a couple of years, but it was new to me. I had never seen this one before. So it's like the last week of school, and the teachers got the blues and the kids got the blues, but then as you get closer and closer to that very last day, everyone's kind of having their spirits lifted, and it's like, oh, vacation's almost here. So it's a really cute book, and I was really excited to find this at Target yesterday, and I snatched it up right away. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up, though, because I need to get home and cook dinner for my boys and my husband, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is freezing outside. I just put on like a hoodie because it's supposed to go up to 60 today, or like 58. But right now it's only 30 degrees out, and my car was frozen over. Everything was frozen over, and it's like, okay, you should go get your winter coat. But it's like, I don't want to wear my winter coat, so I just threw on my hoodie. Big mistake. I should have put on my winter coat because it is very cold this morning. And I'm about to bump the heat up a little bit in here. This morning we have M-Step ELA, and I am hoping we will get the entire test done before lunch. I don't know if we will. We may have to, pause and then complete it after lunch. But it would be really great if we could actually just get that done and out of the way this morning, because I don't think the ELA has 2 parts. I know math has 2 parts and the science has 2 parts, but I believe ELA is just 1. So that's on the agenda for today, and then this afternoon would just be a hands-on science activity. So we would still be doing an actual lesson, but it's fun. The kids, my class, they love science. They absolutely love it. Anytime you get to pull out circuits or magnets or all that good stuff, they're just happy little campers they are. So I'm going to go ahead though and start to get things unpacked and organized and get my day ready. I was just looking at my to-do list, and I just got to say, I'm starting to freak out a little. The school year is winding down insanely fast. It really is. I know today's only May 8th. My last day of school is not till June 16th, but I swear it feels like the months are flying by. Just bam, gone. And like right now, I'm on the writing committee, and that committee, well, it's not the writing committee anymore. We've now merged with the reading, so I'm actually on our language arts curriculum committee. So I'm helping to create the language arts curriculum for reading and writing for K through 5. And it has tons of homework with it, and that's good. I'm enjoying it. I like it a lot. But it is a lot of work. Right now, I'm in the middle of M-Step testing. I need to start DRA2 testing, and I find DRA2 testing to be incredibly valuable. It's a very good test. However, it's a very time-consuming test, and it takes forever to get through 30 kids. I need to start making copies for things for next year, because I've learned from experience, you send out your September and October copies to be made in May and get that out of the way, because if you wait for August to send them in, you're starting the school year unprepared. I have got to do a reading test in here. Next week is progress reports. I have tons of grades for progress reports, but I have not put them in the computer system yet because I just haven't had the chance. Believe it or not, I actually need to start even like packing up this room a little bit and start taking certain things home. Things that are like done with for the year, I need to start taking those things home. And then I have something I'm dying to share with you guys, but I can't share it. But it's a big announcement for next year, but I can't. It's For the moment, it's private, it's secret. But it basically involves a ton of work for next year. And it's a good thing. I'm definitely happy and excited about it, but it's just this secret thing doubled my workload for the end of this school year. And honestly, just talking about this right now is like giving me heart palpitations. So like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, how am I gonna do it all? I mean, I will. I've done it before. I'll get through this. We always do. But yeah, I am definitely feeling overwhelmed. Just very, 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 very overwhelmed right now. And I had actually recently joined the school assessment committee, and together we were going to decide which assessments would be in place district-wide for next year. And I literally just emailed the head of that committee saying, I'm so sorry, I apologize for any inconvenience I'm causing, but I have to withdraw my name from this committee because honestly, between two jobs, because I consider YouTube a job. I do. It's not a full-time job, but it's definitely a part-time job. It's a job I love. No one's making me do it, but it's time consuming. It's as much fun and it is very time consuming. So between the two jobs, my family commitments, the writing or the language arts committee that I'm on, end of the year wrap up, progress reports, report cards, I can't take it on. I can't be on another committee. I'm so sorry. So plus I missed the first meeting last week because no sub came to relieve me. We were having a severe substitute shortage in my district. And actually it's not just my district. Apparently the whole metro area around here is just experiencing a massive shortage of substitute teachers. So yeah, I had to quit that committee. I just can't fit one more thing in. My head will explode. So I just had to share that. Yay, it's Tuesday. Freaking out. It's all good. Maybe. I don't know. Talk later. Today did not go as planned. My class was supposed to take the ELA M-Step testing today. Every child gets a ticket though, and on their ticket is their username and password to log into the online test. I only had one ticket for ELA. Turns out that ELA is in two parts and you need two tickets. Well, the only person at my building who can print those tickets are my principal, who is not here today. He had a commitment outside of work. So we were not able to do the ELA today. Instead, we did science, part 1 and 2, because I had both tickets for science. So I just flipped the test. This way we're not falling behind, because it's really hard on the school when you have to schedule all these grade levels to take the test. You can only have so many students on the network at a time so the servers don't crash. So I didn't want to not test today or just do one of the tests and then have to do a makeup day to get the second part in, especially because I had a perfect attendance today. I had a perfect attendance on the math MSEP and then today's science MSEP. So there was a lot of factors that really led to me wanting to test today and to make sure that I did both parts of something, so that not only did my class not fall behind, but now my principal is not scrambling trying to find a place to put in this makeup day. I hate testing days. One, it's boring as heck for me, or if I'm not bored, I'm like literally bouncing back and forth trying to stamp out problems, because the test is difficult and sometimes the kids, they just don't even know how to mark. You know, how do they want me to answer this? What do I click? What do I do? So the mechanics of the test is a pain in the butt. It really is. And then they're quiet and quiet and quiet and quiet. Early finishers finish the test. They have a booklet full of activities that they can work on. They have their daily 5 books that they can read. They have their library book they can read. But whatever it is they're doing, they have to be silent. So for a while, the room is absolute silence. Then the test is over. And it's all that pent up energy that they've been suppressing for that whole testing window just explodes forth, and they go nuts, absolutely nuts. We did finish part 1 and 2 this morning for the science test. The science test was not as long as the math or as the reading one will be. So our whole afternoon is wide open. I did have activities to do today, but I was initially going to teach a science lesson this afternoon, but since they've been doing science all morning, and I do mean all morning, it was just science, 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 I don't want to do that now. I will be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do this afternoon. I think I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants here. They definitely have a lot of pent up energy, so I'm thinking about putting out like centers or stations and just kind of letting them rotate around the room. And I may even just put out like some simple stuff, like put the blocks on one table and put the dominoes on the other, because oh my god, my students love to play with dominoes and build with dominoes and get the little chain and the domino falling reaction going. So I may do that this afternoon, not for the entire afternoon. I'll definitely do a read aloud after lunchtime to like pull them all to the carpet, get them sitting down, get them calmed down, because like I said, they're really, really rambunctious right now. So and they're outside at recess right now, and I can hear them tearing around that playground going absolutely nuts. So I'll pull them in, we'll have a nice quiet read aloud to calm them down, and then I will put out center rotations, I'll put out some of the everyday math games, and they can just sort of have a chill afternoon. It'll still be academic, but it won't be intense, because they're done. I mean, once all that testing was done, they were done. One more day to go, Thursday, and we'll be all done with this test, and I won't have to worry about it again until next year. Yeah. Thank God the day is over. First of all, I'm exhausted. I've been like yawning, just saying it makes me want to yawn. The kids, we came back from lunch, I had a story hour, we did a little circle, it was all good, they were quiet. We started doing rotations, and I put out 5 rotations. By the 3rd rotation, I was like, okay, that's it. Just wrap it up. We're done with this, because they were bouncing off the walls. So then I pulled out a Time magazine for kids. We did that. We did the quiz that goes with it. And then I just kind of gave them a little time to just do read to self at the end of the day, and they couldn't handle it. It was a bit of a madhouse in here at the end of the day. So I am very glad today is over. I am exhausted. So I mentioned earlier that there's going to be a change for next year. And again, I can't tell you what the change for next year is going to be. I wish I could. Soon, hopefully. But I do want to show you a sneak peek of hopefully the decor for next year. So I'm going to turn this around. And here is a sneak peek of what I'm thinking for next year. It's so adorable, and it's very calm and peaceful. So, yes, I know I said previously that I had no desire to change my room decor, that I was loving the Harry Potter, but Harry Potter won't be appropriate next year. So, the room's going to change. Yes, there will be big changes. And with that, I'm going to sign off for today, because I am pooped. Good morning, happy Wednesday, hump day, well, not really halfway through the week, not until lunchtime today. Today's going to be a routine day. We have nothing going on, so we're going to have our daily 5 today. I'm going to let the kids book shop, because they definitely need to do their book shopping. They've had the same books for a little while now. And then for writing today, we are adding to our chapter books that we are working on. And then for science, we are doing another magnetism activity, which is going to be loads of fun. Math, we are working on angles and using protractors to draw angles. So there's a lot of hands-on stuff today, which is fun. And I'm excited about all of that. Hopefully the kids will be good today. Yesterday they were really off the wall, but I do think a big part of it is testing. No testing today. We'll be able to come right in and just jump into a normal routine day. I am hopeful. I do want to show you this book. This was the book that I read to them after lunch yesterday, and I was afraid it might be a little too childish for fourth graders, but I love this book, The Jolly Postman and Other People's Letters. This copy I have had, no lie, for like 20 years. I'm not even sure if it's still available. I'll have to look on Amazon. But basically, it's like fairy tales, and every other page is an envelope with a letter. And it's absolutely an adorable book. And I was really surprised because, like I said, I was afraid that this might be a little too babyish for fourth graders. They loved it. I was surprised. Even the boys were like, "That's a cool book, Miss Bietler." So, yeah, I'll look for this on Amazon.com and see if it's still available. If it is, I'll link it in the description box below. But you've got, Jack and the Beanstalk and the Giant. Okay, come on out. And Goldilocks and the Three Bears and the Big Bad Wolf. It's just, and Cinderella's in here. It's a really, really cute book. And I use this book every year that I taught like first grade, second grade, or when I was a Title I reading specialist working with first and second grade. So, but yesterday was the first time I'd ever shared this book with fourth graders, and I was pleasantly surprised at just how much they enjoyed the book, which just goes to show you're never too old to enjoy books of any kind. You're really not. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and take a little break right here though, because I do need to get some things organized and ready for later today. It's lunchtime, and we had a perfect morning. I mean, everything went off without a hitch. In fact, I'm really bummed out because I was kind of hoping my principal would pop in to do a surprise observation. He mentioned like a week ago that over the course of the next 2 weeks, there were going to be just sort of a pop in, walk through, kind of unannounced observations. And I know he's not going to, well, at least I hope he wouldn't observe me on a day we're actually doing M-step testing, because like I said, on those days the kids are really quiet during the test, but the minute the test is over, they are nuts, just so nuts. But today was awesome. We had a perfect reading lesson, a perfect writer's workshop. They were writing their partner sentences and different color pencils. It was all going great, working on their chapters. I collected their webs today. And then we had a math lesson where we were measuring angles and estimating them and using fraction pieces to estimate the sizes of the angles. Everything was just perfect. And he didn't show up. It never fails. When you're having the best day in the whole world, principal doesn't come. The minute you're having the crappiest day in the world, surprise! So hopefully this afternoon will go perfect, and maybe he'll pop in, maybe he won't. I don't know. I just hope he doesn't come in tomorrow during M-step, because that'd be a horrible time to observe. Yeah. Okay, time to eat. The day is over. Praise God. It's funny, this morning I was bummed because my principal didn't do a pop-in observation because everything was so textbook perfect. Thank God he didn't come in this afternoon, because at lunchtime we had a whole lot of lunchtime recess drama that went down between like 7, 8, 9 kids that then set off a chain reaction of events that basically ruined the afternoon. I had kids in and out of the office, back and forth again and again, and this one said this, and this one did that, and this one said this, and oh my Lord, major drama. I sent perfectly happy children to lunch. What came back to me was an episode of the Jerry Springer Show or Maury Povich. It was like, you've got to be kidding me. What on earth happened in the 35 minutes that you guys were gone to lunch today? But so my science lesson was just like completely ruined, because at one point I had 7 kids out of the classroom, as well as all of my ELL students gone to bilingual. So I had like half a class, and it's like, okay, I can't teach science right now. So my beautiful hands-on magnet lesson got postponed for either tomorrow or Friday, which was a bummer. And then we ended up having a circle in here where we had several turns, the talking stick going round and round, addressing different issues, and this is a school that's in a very high poverty zone. This is a school that's in an area where you have a lot of broken families, you have a lot of refugees who are coming from war-torn countries, and we had a long conversation here about how, if you suddenly have 5, 6 kids in a room yelling and shouting and screaming, it's not good for anybody. One, it's not good for the kids who are yelling and screaming, but second, when you do that, you have an effect on the other students who have no part in this. But, they start to have headaches, they start to get stomach aches, they start to feel scared and nervous and worried, and I'm trying to reinforce the fact that, this is our safe place. This is our sanctuary. This is a place where everyone should feel safe, everyone should feel welcome. We're free to make mistakes. Mistakes are going to happen. Are we occasionally going to get on each other's nerves? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean you go crazy on someone and you begin screaming and hollering, and that this is not acceptable. And, and for some of my students, this is their only safe place. This is their only sanctuary. Some of my kids, they got some tough lives going on, and I care about these kids, and I want what's best for them. So, yeah, I kind of buckled down hard today on the in-class behavior, and that we're supposed to have each other's backs, we're supposed to be there for each other, we're not supposed to be trying to tear each other down, and yeah, but, it was a very long and loud afternoon. So it was rather disappointing too. It was not a good afternoon at all. And hopefully tomorrow will be better. Although tomorrow's M-step testing, so I already know tomorrow's not going to be better. Sometimes that's just the way it goes.
You go on the trampoline.
Yay! My Amazon Prime has arrived. My Sterilite drawers. I am happy. I'm finally going to clean that ugly, nasty corner in my classroom by the back table. You guys know the one I'm talking about, the one that's hideous. It gets organized tomorrow, before M-step. Yes, tomorrow. Okay, that is so awesome. Together, those are gonna fit right under that table, and it's gonna hold all those things. I'm finally gonna get organized. Anything that's under that table that I no longer need, or that I've been storing for a year because I might use it and I didn't use it, it's getting pitched. It's going. So I am so very happy. I mean, look at that. That is a ton of storage. Wow, that is so awesome. Also, please ignore the mess that is my house. It's been crazy, it's been busy, my house is a wreck. I'll worry about it in June. Yes, I will clean my house come June, because right now there is just no time for anything. Not at all. Happy Thursday. I am very excited today to finally tackle this. I don't know just what the final product's going to look like, but it has to look better than this. I did not bring in the storage containers just yet because the gate is locked and I can't carry them. I wasn't going to lug them all the way through the main building and come back out this way. Because the portables are outside, there's like a special fence, a security fence around the portables so that they don't get broken into during the night. So in about 10 minutes, the security guard will unlock the fence and then I can bring those in. But I am anxious to tackle this morning. I got here a little early, not very early, because unfortunately there's construction, so I left the house insanely early this morning so I could get here and go ahead and start getting things out of this corner, and then I can bring in the Sterilite drawers and start to put things back. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I finally got them brought into the room and got them under the table. And the good thing is, because the table, they only come to about right here on the table, so I was still able to tuck a few things behind here, items that we don't use in the classroom, but because it's school property, I'm technically not allowed to throw it away or get rid of it. Things like, English books. I don't use those English books. Those English books, I swear, they're like 30 years old. At the same time, I can't chuck them into the trash can where I would like to put them because they are school property and I kind of have to keep them in the room. So, but yeah, luckily I can still hide things behind those Tupperwares, and now I'm going to start filling the drawers. I'm a little out of breath because I've been trying to rush before the kids got in, and it's still a work in progress, but I already love it. If you look at here, I cannot believe how much stuff the double-sized drawers hold. So, I mean, just that mountain of stuff that was on the table is gone. It's all in there. Some of the things that were in this corner are going to be gifted to other teachers. Some things have already been disposed of. There was a box of chapter books there that was like levels 60 and 70 that were just way too hard for most of my 4th graders, and I already have 60s and 70s, so I literally just took that box of books and went to a 6th grade teacher and said, here you go, free of charge, enjoy, box of brand new books. She was overjoyed. So that is my progress for the morning. I'm going to have to stop right now, though. I haven't even unpacked my stuff yet for the day. I have to stop, though, because the kids are coming in the room in about 6 minutes. I need to unpack. I need to get myself organized now because we are M-stepping this morning. And yeah, that's what I got to do. Hello! I just realized I never closed out my vlog today. The day, we had a very simple day. We did the M-Step test this morning, as you guys already know. It took my students forever. Even though there was only one part to the ELA test, I had several students who were still testing 2 hours and 50 minutes. I mean, just, it was like, wow. And one girl had to come back at lunchtime because our morning ran out. It was time to go to lunch, and she had like 2 more questions left to do. So she went, she ate her food, and then instead of going to recess, she actually came to my classroom, finished up the test, and then ran out and had a few minutes left for recess. Holy smokes, it's done, thank God. After lunch, I literally, I rewarded the kids today. They got to watch a movie. We watched the BFG. We didn't get a chance to finish it all. There's still about a half an hour left of the movie, and I told them tomorrow, since it's Friday, I go, if you're really, really good tomorrow, maybe the last 30 minutes of the day, I'll let you finish the BFG. But they were so fried. I mean, that ELA test was so hard that they were just like walking zombies by the time they finished that test. They were like the walking wounded. I wanted to give you guys real quick another sneak peek for next year's classroom. So I've already been downloading and printing and laminating, and I've just been doing all this at home because we bought an EcoTank color printer. This printer prints like 6,500 color copies on one ink fill. Now it's expensive. It's, you pay more for the printer, but you save a fortune on the ink. So it's an amazing printer if you are a teacher who likes to print in color like I do. But yeah, so that's a little sneak peek for next year's classroom. Honestly, I think my theme for next year is just kind of like almost hygge. I'm going for a more subtle, like toned down classroom. It's going to be just open, airy, and not neutral, but light on color. It's not going to be punchy like the modern red apple or the rainbow chalkboard that I've had in the past. I'm not going to do Harry Potter next year because it won't be appropriate for the students. I'll be teaching. But yeah, so hygge, going hygge all the way. And with that, I am wrapping up this week's video because my husband actually needs the camera tomorrow. So I won't have my camera at work for Friday's vlog. Sorry about that, guys. So we're wrapping it up on a Thursday. I hope you've enjoyed spending this week with me. I hope you found some interesting things in this teacher vlog. And if you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from the future, click that subscribe button that's down below. And any things that I've mentioned or products, whatever, I'll be sure to link in the description box below too, just to make it easy on you guys if there's something you wanted. And with that, I will talk to you guys later.